G'day and welcome back. In today's video we are going to start the tear down on the Bonnar Model 17 Supercut. Alright, I spent yesterday tearing down the Supercut and got enough footage for about 3 videos, and then I found that I'd lost a heap of audio, so I'm redoing this intro here now. So before we get into the tear down, I'm going to go through the latest additions to the sticker swap. Let's get into it. First up, we've got Edwards Cylinder Mower Services out of Bundaberg, Queensland. Let's poke them up here.
Up next, we got Lawn Inspirations from Brisbane.
Check him out on Instagram. He's got an awesome lawn, and I believe he actually won Brisbane's best lawn in 2020, if I am correct. Cheers, mate. Now finally, we got Southeast Queensland Real Mower Restorations Parts and Services. Cheers, Brett. Thanks to everyone that has contributed to the sticker swap. Had an absolute blast. If anyone else is interested, please get hold of us on Messenger on socials. And yeah, we'll be happy to swap with you. All right. While we're at it, I thought I'd give you a quick rundown of the cleanup of the reel. Quite happy with it. Come up very well in the sandblasting cabinet after a few modifications. Give it a quick lick of paint. She's ready to rock and roll. All right, let's get into it. I'll give everything a final spray with some inox. I gave everything a spray about a week ago, and again the other day. Just give it one last spray just to loosen everything up. Everything that's coming undone, just spray the lot. It cannot hurt. Now we're going to start by removing the engine. So I'm going to pull the side cover off and remove the chain. Flick the joining link out. Surprised I didn't stab myself in the finger. Bit of an indication of how worn the chain is. Not to worry, we'll put all new ones on there. Alright, now we'll move on to removing the throttle cable. Just cut all the old cable ties off. So that's how they've got this set up. First I've seen them, to be honest. It will make something a little bit prettier than that, but I guess it works, So now we just got to undo this 10mm bolt here. Thinking I might remove this grass deflector just to make it easier to get into here to undo everything. Now I've seen there's a couple of different variations of this. In the later one there's a little bit of an apparatus that lets you adjust the grass deflector, I believe, and this piece here actually carries the catcher. So on these early ones, they're just set, and that's how they are. No adjustment. Doesn't particularly bother me, as I very rarely use a catcher, but we'll see how we go. A few whoops in there. Just stick them little buggers back in there so they don't go walkabouts. While we're here, we might as well crack these off. worn from the catcher. 11/16. Roughly equivalent to 17 mil. Now for whatever reason, the back leg, oh, it's a square. Didn't fit that one. Another thing I've noticed on the later model Supercuts, I think it's this rear angle is reversed and it sits down the other way. And obviously they don't run this little blade along the back that cleans all the grass and mud off as you go along. All right, so we've got the chain off, we've got the throttle cable disconnected, we've got the bolts undone. I reckon that should be right to lift off. Let's have a go. Lovely. I'd say the old Kubota is the prettiest looking motor, but it appears to be a really good runner, so I guess that's the main thing. We might give it a lick of paint and make it look pretty again. When I say me, I mean Geordie from Geordie Motorsports. He's the man for the job there. He knows a thing or two about paint. There's fuel in it. Next to nothing, that's handy. Might lay it down. A bit of metric, a bit of imperial, whatever they had lying around at the time by the looks of it. Beautiful. Look forward to getting that in the sandblaster and cleaning it up. Might stick that back in the motor before we lose it. While we're here, we might pull. Oh, how's that? No fasteners in there and no key in there. Not to worry, that's all getting changed as the sprockets don't actually match. How that's never slipped on there is beyond me. Not to worry. We might pull that off while we're here. Alright. Thanks to me grandfather for lending me the puller. Now this is definitely a little bit overkill for what we've got to pull off here, but it's what we've got, so it's what we're using. This is my grandfather's. Although it spends a fair bit of time here getting used. It might be right there. Make that work? I reckon we can make that work. Got him all loaded up. Now I just realised that and press play. It's moving slowly but surely, but it's still quite tight. So we've had a couple of bites at it now. This will be our second bite, I should say. So we're going to take this all the way out. For those of you that don't know, this is a hydraulic puller. So if this doesn't get them off, not much will. If it doesn't get it off, it'll break it. Which is not what we're looking to do. So you want to keep your wits about you and just keep an eye on everything. Make sure everything's moving and don't force it. I'll have another bite at this. That's what I pulled out the hydraulic for. I thought it might have been a bit overkill for this job, but it's definitely not. I'm getting close to the end here. It can be a trick for new players. You might feel it get tight, and what's happened is this piece will foul on here, so you got to make sure it's all central and it's going to miss and whatnot. I can see there straight away that it's not. I'm going to have to back that off again and make sure that the sprocket can pass over this little step here. Just get it nice and central inside here. Winding back up. Sometimes once you get it loose, you can actually just wind this up and wind the sprocket straight off, or whatever it is you're pulling off. In this case, it's gonna fight to the very end. That's gonna pass straight over there. Now, just getting loose. And we've bottomed out on this step. It's all right, I have another trick. Just poke that in there. Wind it up and have a third go. Alright, third time lucky. It's tedious, but it works. They're going to fight for the last second, I tell you. Poke another nut in there. It's not hanging on by much now. Here we go. Moving with ease. Lovely. That doesn't look good. Move that out of the way for now. Pull this all back apart. I'm wondering if there was a worm screw in there and we've just dragged that out. Oh, you're joking. I missed that, didn't I? That was my silly mistake. Hopefully we haven't done too much damage and we'll be right. Live and learn. Can't believe I fell for that. I'm disappointed, but what do you do? Suck it up and move on, I guess. Alrighty, don't worry. Let's move on to the next. Big block out the way. Now I was gonna move on to removing all the linkages and handlebars, make it a little bit easier to maneuver around on the bench. But I'm thinking before we do that, we've still got the clutch and everything working, we might lock the reel up and loosen up all the nuts. I think there's one here, the reel, and then I think there's another over here by memory. So let's see if the little Makita rattle gun cracks them off. Oh, lovely. Oh my God. How good is that? That's bloody awesome. Put it back on there for the time being. I wasn't expecting that, I'll tell you that right now. Not sure what's going on here, but... This is where the crank handle start would have went in. There's a little pin in there for it to grab on. I'm assuming this has got a female thread on it. If we lock this up, we can crack this off. That's what I'm guessing, so let's just have a quick play with that and see what we can work out. Fingers crossed. Thinking it's gonna be a right hand thread. Yeah. Chuck it down in the comments before we get to it. So I've just locked that up on there. Just got that stick there so it doesn't fall off. All right, let's see how we go here. Starting to think pulled that motor off a little bit early, but I don't think it would have really been much of an advantage, to be honest. Oh, you ripper. No, that's how you do it. We were on the money. Cheering. Oh, well, that's made my day. So, it worked. That is a right-handed thread in there. Now you can see that pin that I was talking about. I assume that's where the crank handle grabs on. You would have started the old Villiers on there or whatever it was on there, I'm guessing. Look at all the grease on it. You ripper. Well, that's everything cracked off that needs to be cracked off. All right, now I'm thinking that'll probably do us for today. In the next video, I think we'll remove all these clutch linkages, all the handlebars, and strip them. From there, we'll have a nice compact mower to work on. We'll remove the chains, lock up this reel, loosen that off, sole plate, rollers. I've got no idea what I'm doing. All right, thanks very much for tuning in, and yeah, if you enjoyed it, please feel free to like and subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. And we will see you in the next one. Cheers, legends. Catch you later.